otro día estaba hablando con un empleado aquí y discutimos que tan importante es saber otro idioma. Si pueden darse cuenta, estoy hablando en español, pues probablemente no me entiendan. Yo tengo la habilidad de hablar con algunas más personas que ustedes. Por ejemplo, puedo hablar con algunos empleados y formar buenas relaciones en caso de que tenga pregunta y quiera decir algo. Tienen caras confusas y esto es un problema que hay en nuestra generación. So, if you may have noticed, I was speaking Spanish. And everyone knows some basic Spanish phrases, whether you learned it in elementary or middle school when you were forced to take it, or even if you've never had classes, everyone at least knows what hola means or como estás, por favor. But that's basically as far as we know, and that'll be to our disadvantage in the future. We need to keep our basic knowledge of this language and expand on it because we won't be as successful if we're unable to speak another language well, particularly Spanish. So if you want to thrive in your professional development, I can tell you how to do so and how it will truly benefit you. First, I'm going to tell you how insignificant the statistics are for the number of Spanish speakers compared to the number of English speakers in America. So whenever I hear someone say, yeah, I speak Spanish, a little Spanish, I kind of wonder, like, do you really? Can you hold a conversation with an hablante nativo, a native speaker? That's personally how I would determine if they were really bilingual or not. Because sometimes we may want to consider ourselves like being bilingual. It makes us sound cooler. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, the number of bilingual Americans is low, too low. According to Dr. Francois Grosjean, a leading expert on bilingualism, only 20% of the United States' population is bilingual. So maybe 1 out of every 5 people sounds like a solid ratio, but considering the increasing popularity of this language, 20% isn't enough. Also, that 20% is inclusive towards those of Spanish descent, so their bilingualism is a given, and that doesn't really count. With that being said, there are even less bilinguals in our country. So now that I've told you about the lack of bilinguals in America, I'm going to tell you how becoming bilingual, or at least more bilingual than before, will really benefit you. If you've ever complained how wasteful Spanish or foreign language classes were, it's probably because you either 1, didn't think you'd ever learn enough to use it effectively, or 2, didn't think you'd need to use it in the future. However, continuing your studies in Spanish will make you more likely to obtain a professional career. Studies from BusinessInsider.com, which is a website that publishes up-to-date advice and statistics, claim that there's a high demand for Spanish speakers in the workforce now because of the successful Latin American economy, which we partake in, and this demand is only going to keep increasing. So if you still hate Spanish and you think it's a boring class, I promise you it will pay off. And this doesn't apply to just the international business majors. I don't even think anyone's an international business major here. But it also applies to the science majors, the education majors, and even art majors, because employers are looking for Spanish speakers, Spanish-speaking doctores, doctors, profesores, professors, and arquitectos, architects, or constructionists. And if you can speak it, you could easily get a job. So now we've realized that if we pick up where we left off with our Spanish studies, it can really help our career. It might be intimidating to think that you may have to be at proficient level in order to really succeed, but learning this language is a piece of cake. See, if you've noticed throughout my speech, I've been dropping words in Espanol here and there, and they basically sound like English, more or less. And if I said these words in any other language like Mandarin or Arabic, you'd be completely lost. So it's pretty evident that Spanish is easier to learn than other languages. The British Council has recently agreed that Spanish is the easiest to learn compared to Arabic, French, and Mandarin because of its great similarity to English. As a result, even England is striving for their citizens to learn this language because it's not difficult at all. And if you think of it, who knows what computer is in French? It's ordinateur. That doesn't sound like computer to us, but in Spanish, computer is computadora. And with Arabic and Mandarin, we're not even going to go there because it's not even close to English. So don't sweat it. Spanish is easy to pick up, and whatever you learn will really benefit you. With that being said, there's so many resources that you can easily access to help you learn a new language, like Spanish. That's also what makes it easier to learn besides its similarity to English. I I mean, these resources are all around you. Classes, iPhone apps, websites. It's always guaranteed that Spanish is an available language to learn, while that may not apply for other languages. I mean, have you ever had the option to learn Greek or Vietnamese on Duolingo? I don't think so. So whether you learn from the courses here at Ryder, from your phone, or from your laptop, Spanish is becoming a required language to know for a job. And the way to pick up where you left off in your Spanish studies is just an enrollment, download, or link away.